20 memorable best quotes from film The Oxbow Incident, 1943. The Oxbow Incident was another psychological anti-Western released in 1943. It was produced by Lamar Trotty, who wrote the screenplay, an adaptation from the novel by Walter Van Tilburg Clark. The film was directed by William A. Wellman and was photographed by Arthur Miller. The musical score was created by Cyril Mockridge. The art directors were Richard Day and James Bassovy. The editor was Alan McNeil. The assistant director, Ad Scoumer. The set decorators, Thomas Little and Frank Hughes, and the sound was done by Alfred Bruslin and Roger Heeman. The Oxbow Incident was an important film for many reasons. One of them comes from its players. Indeed, the cast consisted of Henry Fonda, playing Gil Carter, Dana Andrews in the part of Donald Martin, Mary Beth Hughes as Rose Mapin, Anthony Quinn in the role of the Mexican, Francesco Martinez, William Ath as Gerald Tetley, and Henry Morgan, playing Art Croft. Other members of the cast were Jane Darwell as Ma Greer, Matt Briggs as Judge, Daniel Tyler, Harry Davenport as Davies, Frank Conroy as Major Tetley, Mark Lawrence as Farnley, Victor Killian as Darby, Paul Hurst as Monty Smith, Crispin Martin as Poncho, Ted North as Joyce, George Meeker as Mr. Swanson, Almira Sessions as Mrs. Swanson, Margaret Hamilton as Mrs. Larch, Dick Rich as Mapes, Francis Ford as Old Man, Stanley Andrews as Bartlett, Billy Benedict as Green, Paul E. Burns as Winder, Lee Whipper as Sparks, George Chandler as Jimmy Carnes, George Lloyd as Moore, Willard Robertson as the sheriff, and Tom London as the deputy. Gil Carter, and quote, "My dear wife, Mr. Davies will tell you what's happening here tonight. He's a good man and has done everything he can for me. I suppose there are some other good men here, too, only they don't seem to realize what they're doing. They're the ones I feel sorry for. 'Cause it'll be over for me in a little while, but they'll have to go on remembering for the rest of their lives. A man just naturally can't take the law into his own hands and hang people without hurtin' everybody in the world. 'Cause then he's just not breaking one law but all laws. Law is a lot more than words you put in a book, or judges or lawyers or sheriffs you hire to carry it out. It's everything people ever have found out about justice and what's right and wrong. It's the very conscience of humanity. There can't be any such thing as civilization unless people have a conscience, because if people touch God anywhere, where is it except through their conscience? And what is anybody's conscience? Except a little piece of the conscience of all men that ever lived. I guess that's all I've got to say except kiss the babies for me and God bless you. Your husband, Donald, and quote, Major Tetley. This is only slightly any of your business, my friend. Remember that. Gil Carter, hangin' is any man's business that's around. Gerald Tetley, I saw your face. It was the face of a depraved, murderous beast. Only two things ever meant anything to you: power and cruelty. You can't feel pity. You can't even feel guilt. You knew they were innocent, but you were crazy to see them hanged. And to make me watch it. I could have stopped you with a gun, just as any other animal can be stopped. But I couldn't do it because I'm a coward. Aren't you glad you made me go? Weren't you proud of me? How does it feel to have begot a weakling, Major? Does it make you afraid there may be some weakness in you too, that other men might discover and whisper about? Open the door. I want to see your face. I want to know how you feel now. Sheriff, God better have mercy on you. You won't get any from me. Donald Martin. Why do you keep asking me all these questions? You don't believe anything I tell you. Major Tetley. There's truth in lies too, if you can get enough of them. Major Tetley. Other men with families have had to die for this sort of thing. It's too bad, but it's justice. Donald Martin. Justice. What do you care about justice? You don't even care whether you've got the right men or not. All you know is you've lost something and somebody's got to be punished. Gil Carter. Say, what is there to do in this town anyway? Art Croft. Well, unless you want to get in line and woo Drew's daughter. Art Croft? We don't. Darby. The only other unmarried woman I know is 82, and a Paiute. That leaves you 5 choices. Eat, sleep, drink, play poker, or fight. Or you can shoot some pool. I got a new table in the back room.